It's the Ravens at the Steelers for the AFC North title on Sunday Night Football to bring the regular season to a close. We will let you know what to bet for this football game, whether Snoop Huntley can keep the Ravens on track here, the void left by DK Metcalf once again, and much, much more. Ninja here with Nick Holtz. Welcome to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and keep it locked on OddsShark throughout the playoffs. Before we get into it here, though, Nick, we know about the Lamar Jackson injury. His status still up in the air. But looking at it here at DraftKings, Ravens minus 3.5. Total 41.5. What's your take on that spread? Because to me, that seems a bit weird. It looks to me like Lamar's playing.
Yeah, surprised to see the Ravens open, especially with the hook as favorites against a team that, two teams that know each other so well. To me, that makes it seem like Lamar is going to suit up on Sunday night, but we'll have to see how the injury shakes out.
Yeah, keep an eye on that, folks, as the week progresses, but they didn't really need Lamar against your beloved Packers. And also, let's give Snoop a little credit here. He's defeated 2 playoff teams this season, while Lamar Jackson hasn't won any games against playoff teams this season. And, Nick, the last Ravens team to go into Pittsburgh and win a football game was quarterbacked by Snoop. So, would you trust a combo of Huntley and Derrick Henry playing for the AFC North title here this week?
Yeah, after watching last week, you'd think so. The Ravens offense just operated on all cylinders. Snoop Huntley played an efficient football game, but looking at the underlying numbers, he really wasn't asked to do too much. Threw for just 107 yards in the win. And the fact of the matter is, I think Huntley is a winning quarterback if the table is set perfectly around him. If your cousins start grabbing the silverware off of that table, things get a little bit tougher. When your offensive line wins and you're given a reliable rushing attack, it's far easier to play quarterback in the NFL. Having said that, he just 5-6 straight up in 11 starts against the AFC North in his career with 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a 77 passer rating. And looking at his yards per pass attempt, that's just 5.98. So he's really not going to be asked to throw the football down the field. But against this Steelers menacing defensive front that will likely include TJ Watt on Sunday night, I can't say I trust Huntley too much.
Yeah, that's another name to keep your eye on as the week progresses here. And with that in mind, everything you're saying about Huntley, about this Ravens offense, it's all true. So with that in mind, Nick, Derrick Henry carried the ball 36 times last week. And, whether it is Lamar, whether it is Huntley, do you think the game plan from Baltimore's perspective is just going to be more Henry? Like, why deviate from that?
Well, I think the Ravens really need to throw the football to open up the rushing attack against the Steelers. I really don't think the game script will allow Henry to get as many touches as he saw last week. And over the past 4 weeks, the Steelers, an NFL best 31% rushing success rate allowed. So I really think Derek Harmon, Cam Hayward, and those boys up front for Pittsburgh are going to get after that Ravens run game and force them to throw the football down the field. I think Baltimore really needs to get the ball in the hands of Zay Flowers and their other pass catchers to win this game.
On the other side of the field, DK Metcalf will serve the second of his 2-game suspension in the most crucial game of the season. Like, how much did Pittsburgh miss DK last week in that loss to the Browns? And really, how much are they going to miss him again in this spot?
Oh, just a massive loss. There's no understating that fact. The longest completion Aaron Rodgers had to a Pittsburgh Steelers receiver last week was 15 yards, and that came late in the fourth quarter to Scotty Miller. The fact that Rodgers almost orchestrated a game-winning drive against a top-tier defense with Miller, the carcass of Adam Thielen, and MVS on the outside is just hilarious. But Pittsburgh really needs someone to step up at receiver to win this football game.
So talk to me about that then. Perfect segue to my next question, because considering there's going to be no DK, probably no Darnell Washington after his injury on the weekend, if bettors are looking for somebody from that Steelers offense from a pass-catching role, is there anybody that we can lean on for Steelers reception props here?
Yeah, I'd take a peek at Pat Freiermuth receptions props. We saw Rodgers kind of target him down the seam a little bit last week. And also speedster Calvin Austin, if he can recover from his hamstring injury and suit up, he's a downfield threat that the Steelers desperately need. But my favorite guy in the Steelers passing attack might be Kenneth Gainwell. I feel like the Steelers need to give him the football a little bit more last week. Rodgers just loves the guy, and I feel like he targets him early and often in this one.
Considering all the names we're throwing out here, like on paper at least, and just thinking about this game, a few days out, I like what the Ravens have on offense, no matter who the quarterback is, way more than what Pittsburgh is going to offer. But the big question for me is going to be whether or not the Ravens defense can get some stops and keep them in this football game, keep Huntley in the football game. So my question straight up, Nick, is can they?
Well, there's no DK Metcalf to take the top off the defense like in their prior meeting back in week 14. And I think that immediately helps the Ravens secondary just kind of sit on anything underneath in some of those shorter routes the Steelers love to throw. But the real issue is Baltimore's lack of a pass rush. When you think of, the classic Ravens versus Steelers matchup, so many battles in the trenches with so many stars on those front sevens, but this isn't the Ravens defense of years past. They're 30th in sacks this year with only 28, 26th in pass rush win rate. And I really think if they can't pressure Rodgers, it's going to be a long night for the Ravens. We saw how number 8 just missed multiple passes against the Browns last week because he had pass rushers either just get in his face or just hit him before he released the football. If the Ravens can't do that, I think they're in trouble in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's not the Ravens defense that we've seen, in recent history here, but there's part of me that still thinks that we may get a quintessential AFC North battle with all of it to play for on Sunday Night Football. We'll get your pick in a second here, Nick. But folks, December is coming to a close, but spice up your NFL betting opportunities in the playoffs with Prop Professor. And right now you can get Prop Professor for 50% off for the first month. You can get hundreds of plus EV bets every single day. And Prop Professor actually gives you a real shot at finding long-term profit. You can sort through plays across the NFL, across college football, the NBA, and plenty more leagues. It's got a great arbitrage tool. It's got a fantasy optimizer in there as well, and it's easily the best bang for buck on the market compared to its competition. So you can use the promo code SHARK50 at checkout and get 50% off for that first month. All right, Nick, let's wrap it up here. We've talked about the number, again, still weird. Ravens, 3.5-point road faves here in this one with Lamar Jackson status up in the air. The total is 41.5. The under is minus 115. The Ravens minus 180 on the money line. The Steelers coming back at plus 150 at home. What are you looking at betting here?
Well, I also believe this will be a close game and a classic AFC North matchup well into the fourth quarter. And I'm trusting Aaron Rodgers, especially if the Ravens have to go with Tyler Huntley under center. I'm on the Steelers as home dogs at plus 3.5 here. The betting trends are just impossible to ignore. Pittsburgh has won 3 straight as home underdogs against Baltimore and are 8-2 straight up in the last 10 meetings. Plus Mike Tomlin, an NFL best 24, 9-3 against the spread as a home dog in his career.